teach a kid that kind of thing. It's like they think whenever they go on holiday, they can kind of spoil themselves. When we went to, like, you've been to Europe, you can't spoil yourself in Europe.
No, you can't.
Imagine that. But imagine if every year you just had that mindset. And we know a lot of people, it's like, you know, Boba, I need $100, I need $300, and their parents just give them money all the time. But it's like you kind of lose that value.
I wish I had that.
Yeah. But go on.
That's a good quality one.
But yeah, I remember even school cafeteria, I would be over the moon if I can get it like $5 for lunch because it was so rare. Because we had to earn.
No,
we had to earn it as well.
Every couple of weeks they'll be like, here's some lunch money. Like Fridays, kebab day.
Yeah.
Like even if we wanted to buy something and we didn't have the money because we were too young, we weren't working, we had to work for it. So alhamdulillah, our parents have our own business, so we had allowance and even just work extra hours.
You mentioned allowance. Wait.
You didn't have allowance growing up?
FairDinkum.
What's your routine when you are angry? This is definitely something I have to answer.
Like, what type of anger are we talking? Like anger? Like we're like,
I think
we're
just frustrated, and then we can go from frustrated to complete rage.
yeah, let's go. Yeah.
I can go.
There's different levels.
Make
But then-
wudu and
No, he
pray.
doesn't, bro. He doesn't get angry.
No,
I'm
but
so
see,
angry.
But then you don't see it though. That's why, because obviously I deal with it differently.
I've seen
Maybe
it
to you.
Once I've seen it.
Yeah.
Was
What
it
about
It's
Liverpool?
funny. He scared me, man.
Wallah?
What are you doubting Trent on Liverpool?
No, I don't ever doubt Trent, bro. I always like.
Did you get anger at a Liverpool sitch?
I can't remember what situation he's talking about, so
Okay.
we'll talk about it later.
Another situation.
But yeah, so to be honest, when I do get angry, sometimes I don't even know the reason why. So that's where, so how I was saying about compartmentalizing, that's something I need to work on.
Mm-hmm.
But let's just say like I'm in that mood, I have to deal with it. So what I usually do is, to be honest, I minimize like communicating with people, like socializing. I don't know why, but
You go in the cave.
yeah, I literally like will go to my bedroom,
Cave.
just try like avoid speaking to people because even if they're just gonna say like want to just chat with me and see how my day is, I'm just gonna look like I'm like pissed off or whatever, and then it's like, why are you in this mood? And then it's gonna make them in a bad mood. So I try to seclude myself from other people.
That's what I was telling you.
I try,
Remember the other day?
yeah.
Remember I think it was a couple weeks ago, a month ago or something. And he goes, I'm not coming downstairs. It's like,
Oh,
I'm not coming
yeah.
downstairs. And he watched Soul upstairs.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah.
And then he sent me a text
They gave me
message.
perspective.
He axed the recording.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But then, yeah, so if once I seclude myself, let's just say I'm in my room now, I'll have to, like, I'll try watch some light-hearted stuff. Like, just force the comedy. Like, consume the comedy and stuff and
Try
just
to
see if
smile.
I can change my mood.
Yeah. Do
Well,
you go nostalgic shows like when you were a kid in that?
No,
Or
that's a
just
good idea. I
anything.
should try that. But
Yeah.
then I usually go straight to, like, you know, the classic Seinfeld, Office. Some stuff I know I've laughed over, so it's like, they can't disappoint.
Sure.
So, yeah, that's how I've dealt with in the past. What about you guys, Welly? You know any or?
This question doesn't stick out to me. I've got to think about it a bit more, honestly.
You're probably going to talk more, so I'll quickly. Because you said you're keen to answer.
No, go ahead. I didn't say keen. I
Yeah.
just said I probably have to answer this.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to. I swear you do.
I think it depends on the situation, but I'm someone who can kind of like, if I get angry, I can kind of like get over it pretty quickly. I have a weird mindset on it, like, because I remember one guy said, like, if you get angry, it means you didn't have enough sabr for the situation. So me, as soon as I get angry, I just say have sabr. And sometimes it obviously works, sometimes it doesn't. If you're just angry, you know, like, you're not going to win every situation. But it's one of those things where it's like, suck it up. And I keep it in the bottle. So some people think that's bad. It's never exploded, like the bottle, like, you know, I've never held it in longer. But if it does, then that's going to happen. And I know maybe one day it might, but for now, this is what's working for me. Because obviously, like...
I'm sure it doesn't come out through other avenues, though. Like, for example, yeah, I know a lot of people that have a situation where they withhold themselves from shellacking someone because they did something wrong, and then they'll end up backbiting the person, you know, and it comes out in another way.
I think I still do things that make me feel good, though. So when I get angry, you might not physically be able to see it. Like, maybe in the moment, but then 5 minutes later, it's like, whatever.
I can see you irritated sometimes, but I've never seen you get angry.
You won't see me raise my voice or something like that. But I have, for example, comfort food. So if I know, I told you last time.
I'm a white girl, bro. I got comfort food.
You know, Atomic Habits talks about you build like a habit and then association to it. It's like, so you're supposed to, like, when you're supposed to do something you want to do and something you need to do, build it around each other so you kind of enjoy it more.
Definitely.
So I got in a car accident like 2 years ago, and that day
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like, I just want to be alone, because obviously you just want to be alone. And I ordered pizza and watched movies, and as soon as that happened, pizza became my comfort food.
Did you cry?
Nah,
I'm so happy you didn't say ice cream is his
Oh
comfort
my
food.
Yeah.
god, bro! You
But-
got a freezer here. God knows what's in it.
it was one of those things where if I ever have a rough day or a tough day, my body automatically feels the craving for pizza.
Mm.
Do you get it? So that became by
Association.
association my comfort food. So if I'm angry, like if I'm really angry, I automatically body craves pizza. But I might do like certain things, like I'll do what Ali says, like a bit of seclusion. I'll watch certain things. The best thing is just give it time,
Oh,
you know, because
definitely,
time
For sure,
just.
yeah.
But alhamdulillah, it's one of those things where it's like, I've never been angry enough where it's like I need days.
yeah.
You know, like obviously there's different when like you're depressed or you're sad for a couple of days and stuff like that. That is different. But angry at someone for something that they did to you, it's, you know, you have comfort food, you have comfort things you do, seclusion, TV shows,
Yeah.
stuff like that. I can't be productive, like read a book or anything when I'm angry,
Yeah.
or listen to a podcast. Like I don't have the time. Sometimes gym helps.
Yeah,
Like
that
I know
does,
gym,
yeah,
like
yeah.
because it's just like you're just chucking stuff around, and sometimes playing soccer because it takes your mind off. The things that take my mind off it help, because it's one of those things like they say when you get angry, 72 hours later, a lot of time it's gone.
Yeah.
So me, I try to like do stuff that just take my mind off it.
So last night, you were angry at someone.
Why?
You had pizza.
Only if he initiates it, it's
Oh.
code.
Who's
for-
you angry at?
Yeah.
That's code red.
Is it me?
So now we know for next
I don't
time.
answer in the
What was
group
last
chat.
night? Tuesday?
Huh?
Damn.
Now we know for next time when Ashraf's like, boys, I want some pizza. Like, okay, Ashraf.
Oh, well,
That's
yeah.
right. So let's
It
talk
has to
about
be
it.
meat
Let's
lovers.
talk
It has to
about
be
it.
meat lovers.
Let's
It's,
clear the room.
It
Let's
has to
clear
have
the
the
room.
flavor.
Alhamdulillah, it's not margarita. Alhamdulillah.
Yeah. Dead comfort food.
It would be typical, yeah.
Can you imagine that, bro?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Give yourself
What about you?
diarrhea.
Did you think of anything yet, or Sahel? Guess Susie.
I don't think I've been in a situation where, like, and maybe that's because
Don't
I've,
lie.
I've
Don't lie.
controlled the
We
situation.
can think
Be
of situations.
vulnerable.
We
Hey.
can,
Yeah,
we can think of
name right now.
situations.
Hey, yo.
Right now.
Yeah, it's like, hey, boys, I gotta go home. It's like, why, bro? All of a sudden, yeah, I got things, bro. I got things to do.
Hey,
Yeah.
Just like, he's out.
I reckon my reaction. What was the question one more time? Is it what was your reaction to getting angry?
What's
What's your routine when you're angry?
I don't
I
know
know-
if you have a routine.
I know
yeah.
one thing I
Yeah.
do just specifically is I become mute. Like I just shut my mouth. Do you get what I mean? And I don't express like my anger because I feel like whatever comes next is foul.
Yeah.
Do
That's
you get what I
good.
mean?
You stay
Very
something
good.
out of line.
Yeah. But then like I've never been in a situation where it's crossed the line where I've said something foul. Maybe like in games and stuff where it's physical and I just express it in the moment
I
type
think,
of thing.
I think that's عادي, bro.
But that's
Yeah.
that's just more of a lash out. But in terms of mute, yeah, I become super mute. You know
That's
what
a
I
good
mean?
thing,
And I know to me personally, like I don't want to see the other side of it because one day like that mute might equate to me being like just I haven't seen the other side of it.
Yeah.
So
We
then
might
I
start throwing hooks or swearing, getting really.
You get what I mean? Because sometimes I felt it so much that like you know that burning feeling you actually get when like you're super angry. And also the other thing other than mute is I really don't like being in the situation that makes me mute. Do you get what I mean? So like let's just say someone here makes me angry, for example. Yeah. The situation in of itself, I don't want to be in it. That's why when Ali was saying, "Oh, I gotta go, I
Yeah.
gotta go."
So you take yourself out of the situation.
Yeah, I
the
remove
environment.
myself from the situation that's made me
That's a
angry.
good idea, though.
You get what I mean?
Definitely.
Yeah,
You can't get unangry in the same situation you got angry from.
Yeah.
100%.
100%.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
If you're angry and someone says, "Have patience," what would you say? Because I remember like, it's actually not like when people like have the Salli ala Nabi, like say
Yeah,
the
yeah.
salawat on the Prophet. It's actually not
My
a good
dad
thing
loves
to.
doing that to make
It's
me
actually not a good.
Yeah.
It's just a habit, but it's actually not a good thing
To
because
say,
if it doesn't suppress like the anger, or
Yeah.
if you say have sabr and the person gets angry and you like have taqwa, and it's like it's gonna make the person more angry, and then it
Yeah,
puts
yeah,
anger with the
It's-
deen. You're linking two things, the association thing.
yeah,
So like, but if someone said that to you, what would you?
bro. The thing is,
Because I know a lot of people get more angry. It's
I
not
would,
bad.
I would probably get more angry.
Yeah.
But also on top of that, even like not even just anger. Let's just say someone's sad about something or someone's just down about something. Yeah, for you to like misconstrue their emotions by just telling them to do something or react in a certain way is very insensitive from the get go. You know what I mean? Because like for example, let's just say someone passes away in someone's family. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
you tell them how do you grieve,
Yeah.
bro?
Yeah, you
like,
can't
know what I
be
mean?
doing
And
that.
you take that same application of in a different emotion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Anger is a part of the grieving process.
Yeah.
It's part of the grieving process.
But
Yeah. What's yours, sis?
Jesus, Miriam. Okay, Astaghfirullah. Isa, Maryam, and then the rest. But I'll make it very simple. Yeah. I'll make it very simple. Yeah. I had an anger issue for the longest time in my life.
Yeah.
I hit a point where I was sent to anger management classes.
What's the guy from Andy Bernard? Andy Bernard. That's why you love Andy so much.
No, I hate him in my life. Bro.
Oh my god!
I know.
I don't like that guy.
He's gonna make a
One
hole in the
bit.
wall, bro.
Basically, yeah. Basically, in high school, I had a bit of a bust out with a teacher. I'm not gonna develop further out.
Bust out.
Bust like
Just gotta
what's the word?
use
A
our
fight.
words.
Not
Like an
bust
argument,
out,
argument.
I know what you're thinking.
Okay, yeah,
Argument.
we gotta use our words carefully.
Naughty. No. Basically, listen. Yeah, I had a bit of a feud with a teacher. When I look back now, hindsight's 2020. I can tell you definitely I was in the wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when you're in the moment and you got your ego busting and you got far out, man. I keep using that word, man. Astaghfirullah. Bleep. Okay. when you got your egos working, yeah, and then you got the boys around you, and then all this sort of stuff, it builds up, and then you lash out. Basically, I did not very good things to a teacher, and I said some not very good stuff to the person, and then the teacher kind of understood where I came from for some dumb reason, the coordinator, and then he goes to me, look, we just want you to do anger management classes with a counsellor, and then we just need you to do that for the next month or so and see how you go from there. Luckily for me, I was very happy to miss class to go to a counsellor session.
Was a G up to go to the thingy rehab?
Defos, bro. I went like, I wanted to go every day. I was like, is it possible to
The
go
day
like
off,
every
yeah.
day, bro?
And probably your ego went
How many
throughout
hours
the
would
roof
it be?
as well.
Is it the whole day?
Nah, bro. It was like a little hype thing, like the boys down.
Nah,
there
it's like a bit of
listening.
strict, like at how old are you?
Jesus, carry on.
It's like
It's like what? It's like they can't control me.
yeah. They like, it's
They're
like
gonna
getting
send me somewhere.
you know, it's like getting suspended from school.
Yeah.
The first day you come back after
from anger
suspension,
management
you're the
classes.
boy. You're that
I'm
man.
still angry, damn.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it again if they watch your back, sir.
But yeah. No, you management class. Me.
So what
Nah,
kind of
yeah.
things did they like? What's the routine then?
Okay, so basically what happened was I hit a point where, and I used to play footy a lot, and
No
a lot
pun
of the
intended.
times in footy I would experience racism and racist remarks from the people on the opposition teams, and I used to punch on a lot, and I used to get very angry, and I used to be always in the middle. For some reason, every time there was a scuffle, it was always I was in the middle of it. Oh, here we go again. My coach got cut at me, but my coach was a good guy. He was very patient with my situation, and basically, what happens is I stopped playing footy, I stopped playing FIFA, I stopped doing things that I know caused me to become angry or to become somebody who rages. Yeah. So when you hear the word rage, you know that.
So it's
And-
even beyond anger.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
you've hit
yeah,
that
yeah.
stages.
I hit the stage where I
Yeah.
saw red. Like, you know when they say you see red,
Yeah.
brother, I've seen red.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not good.
Yeah.
How many times have you seen red?
And that's when you need a routine.
Several times.
That's when
Yeah.
you need a routine.
That's when you
But then
definitely
like
need a
these
routine.
stages where it's like not as
But it's been, I say, a solid 6 years. Yeah.
Alhamdulillah.
Since I was 18, I never had a fit of rage like that. It's because I hit a point where I think I saw a video of me in a footy match. Yeah, so I was playing footy once, and an umpire made a bad call, very very bad call, and then I watched myself lashing out at these random little. He's like a kid, bro. I'm 17 at the time, so I'm allowed. It's legal, but can't catch a case. Basically, I'm lashing out at this kid for making a bad decision, and he's absolutely like he's shitting himself. And I'm looking at myself and I'm like, wow, you're a piece of work, sis. You know that? You're a piece of work. And I remember going to myself, after I watched that video, I promised myself I'll never do it again.
And that worked?
Bro,
Hectic.
it like literally made it null and void. I never get angry like as bad as that ever again. Because I remember how I looked in that video. Or I remember seeing someone else get that angry. Like, for example, like a family member, I've seen them rage to that point. You're like, oh, am I going to be like that? Ew, do I look like that when I lose my shit? Leave it. I look like a barking dog. Let me leave that. And then basically, what I do now when I'm getting angry is I let myself lash out. But I lash out in private. So basically, I'll go to my room.
Your pillow, miskin.
No, not pillow. No. I won't neck my pillow or
Yeah,
anything
yeah.
like that. What I'll do is basically, I'll say everything that I feel in that moment.
Yeah.
Like, you know, this dude and but I'll
That's
say
smart,
it quietly to myself. And I remember
Yeah.
asking like,
But you're at least
quietly.
saying it. You're saying it still.
Getting
Like
off
I'm
your
saying
chest.
it's coming out.
Wait,
you
but
know?
quietly.
Like like not quietly, obviously, like.
Yeah.
But I mean, like to myself, subtly
Yeah.
in my own time, you know, when no one else can see me or hear me or anything like that. But the reason why I do that is because obviously it's a release, but then also I'm not backbiting anyone if I talk to somebody else about the situation, and if I swear nobody's witnessed the sin, you know, and I can keep that between me and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the situation. I can go, because people a lot of the times we regret saying things to others, you know.
Yeah.
And that's
So-
what anger does a lot of the time. When you're in a situation
Oh,
of
There's
anger,
no logic when you're angry.
it's
Like,
just
you
emotion,
yeah.
straight emotion.
So yeah, basically, and a lot of the times, like my anger would stem from my lack of control in a situation,
Mm-hmm.
which then brings me back to my next thing is releasing control of myself in situations, especially with others. Yeah, allowing things to unfold as they need to unfold, and then yeah. So I would say for my routine, I say that. I'll separate myself from the situation like Abdul Ali.
We've seen you get angry a couple of times, like, you know, and you've said it kind of thing, but it's always that thing where it's like seclusion. They say men, we go in our caves and then we think about it overall without emotion, like when the emotion passes and we're like, oh, that was kind of stupid. I'm in the wrong. This person's in the wrong. This is the solution. And when we could figure out the solution, we're okay. And that's what it is. That's why men go to their caves. That's why they say in a lot of relationships, you know, when you get married, females like to talk about it. They overcome issues by talking to each other. That's how they do it. But guys like to go into like their cave. They like to go in seclusion and think and do it themselves and come out. So if you talk to a guy like Ali said, I don't want to talk to anyone.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk to anyone. It's that kind of thing. It's how just our brains are wired. That's just in a generic sense.
I think it's a benefit for us even religiously, bro. I think religiously it's probably the best thing for us as well, because we're not backbiting.
Could you guys speak to someone if you wanted to? Like Ali, for example. Like, let's just say you were to seclude and someone was to come into your room. Let's say Ashraf, your mum, sister. Yeah, and they said, hey, let's have a chat. Could you speak about it?
I think it just it depends on the person.
Gotcha.
Like, I'm not going to say who I'd prefer and who I wouldn't, but...
Yeah. But there are certain situations which you
And
can
it also
talk.
depends on how angry you are there.
Exactly. And there's a lot of reasons to, like, if it's possible or not, like, depending what I'm angry about, the severity of it as well. So it is possible, but yeah, you prefer the seclusion and just your own space.
Do you want to go for another question?
Next question.
Yeah.
You can go another
Cameras all
question?
good?
Yeah.
Ahmed, cameras all good?
Enough talking about me, how much of a nutcase I was.
It is good, yeah? Alright, middle.
You break his camera? Come on,
Wait.
your paycheck. Oh, you can belt me later, don't worry.
It's actually an interesting game because it sparks conversation, makes you open up. I think a lot of board games,
Well, this is a good one.
like sometimes they're not like beneficial. So this is where he tried to do it. It's like you have beneficial convos kind of thing, you know. A lot of times people can't. They're not used to opening up with their mates and stuff. So it's actually
I think it's a good icebreaker.
Yeah.
For a lot of
I got a
guys
quick,
and-
like, this one's a quick bang question, okay?
bang.
It's not meant to be a deep question, alright?
Okay.
Alright, describe your ultimate cheat meal. Everyone go one.
Yeah. I'm a burger guy there, so I wouldn't mind burger, chips,
Meat or chicken?
meat. Always meat.
You're right.
Always meat.
How about fried chicken?
Nah, it's always meat. Unfortunately,
I'm a fried chicken and macaroni and cheese guy. That's mad. But
as a cheat meal,
bro, oh my
macaroni and
God,
cheese.
bro. You know, macaroni and cheese for side of tenderloins, like tenders, fried tenders, bro. Oh my lord,
Is
have
that your
mercy.
cheat meal?
Oh, bro, I'm not promoting Coke, so I don't drink Coke. Take that, dogs. Anyways, carry on.
Yeah.
Ultimate cheat meal, like your go-to or like the biggest.
So ultimately,
Your
like if you
go-to.
could have
I reckon
one,
your go-to.
I reckon
Yeah.
go-to sounds better.
yeah.
Or your ideal one.
I need brownies on the side as well. Brownies and ice cream. I love brownies.
I never think of brownies, but every time you bring it up, it just adds to my list. All of a sudden,
Yes, bro. Look at me.
Anything.
yeah, exactly.
We'll take it all.
I could have controlled that. I'll say KFC.
KFC.
Munch
Talking
out.
to KFC.
If I have to, bro, it's KFC.
So if
Like,
you-
no, but this is not just one meal. Like, it's like, what is it? The family feast or something?
yeah, also specific.
You rate it that highly?
Damn.
No,
I
like,
just have it as a normal
No,
meal.
'cause-
Like it's nice, but it's not like.
no, I just love the
Like,
I'd rather go
fried
to
chicken,
like,
bro.
a,
Just-
like yeah, I'd rather get like burger basement or get like raw stacks burger.
No,
But
I'm
the-
measuring. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm with
but the
you.
thing is,
Obligatory.
like,
Double
that's
crunch.
just one meal, yeah.
Yeah.
But I know to myself, every time I go KFC, I can't just get a meal by myself. I need to get. I need to actually like munch out.
And it's your go-to, something you do frequently. It's
Yeah.
not just once in a while.
Do you
Getting
munch out
pretty-
frequently?
No, not frequently, but I'm getting pretty hungry now. So.
Somebody say KFC.
I don't.
Yeah. Bismillah.
I've
What's
got,
yours?
no, I got another question. Like a
Then
proper.
what's yours?
Yeah.
Mine's just snags, like sausages.
Wallah, he's a.
You live there, yeah?
No. Like if I was,
Bargain.
let's just say I was to like I was put on death row or something like that, prison,
Death row.
Oh,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
last meal.
and they
what?
said, "Oh, you got one last meal." Yeah, I will tell
too
them,
many
give me. I got caught on camera too.
Yeah, we did the getaway. When we did the FairDinkum getaway,
Yeah.
this guy actually came with sausages prepared. Yeah, didn't he? Yeah.
Hey, actual question now, already?
Are you doing two?
That was just a quick bang question. In the meantime,
Damn.
name
love
one
bang.
thing. Name one thing you love about the way you've been raised.
Wait, say it again.
Name one thing you love about the way you've been raised.
Jeez. You're talking about sausages, you got gas, bro.
It wasn't even that. It was the hand movement too.
Yeah, that brother's starving.
We'll do the redo now, so we
Alright,
cut that bit out. All right, boys. Name one thing you love about the way you've been raised. Let me know. I can go with one.
Go.
Discipline. When growing up, I misconstrued discipline for being like, to a degree, like punishment or like over controlling. You know what I mean?
Growing
But
up like with Duxie and stuff, yeah?
yeah, like Duxie, what do you call it? Not going out as much compared to like other kids, because comparison is very, very evil. Do you know what I mean? And I, growing up also with my mates, I realized they didn't really go out as much. It was just my world of thinking. Like, but then why I say discipline is because I've only come to understand like the benefits of the discipline that I was raised with. Like now, you get what I mean? Like I really, really appreciate the way that I am, or certain characteristics I have because of my parents. You get what I mean? Looking back at it, then I would have been like, "Yo, come on, man! Like just let me play like all night, play zombies, COD." You get what I mean? Or like let me just go kick it outside. You get what I mean? Or let me. You get what I mean? So
Definitely.
it's discipline, like straight up blank discipline. You know what I mean? Because I've seen other people who've been raised differently, and discipline is a hard thing.
With no discipline, completely different life.
Two
now.
different people.
Yeah,
You get what I mean?
You see how they turn out.
100%.
Yeah.
But there's also like a fine line between punishment and discipline. I never understood it, and obviously I'm a kid as well, by the way. You know what I mean? Because I'm
Trying to have
thinking,
fun.
I'm thinking it's me against the world, when really it isn't me against the world. You know?
It's
So,
yeah.
yeah.
You just learn the repercussions of your actions sometimes.
100%.
And there's the best way to teach it, wallah, when you're a kid. If you learn that there's always like a, how do I say it? There's always a punishment, or there's always some sort
result.
of end result.
Yeah.
And then you have to see that, or you have to deal with it, whether
Yeah.
it's good or bad. And teaching your kid that.
It reminds me, just quickly, of in Ramadan. Ramadan was like a week and a half ago. The story of Yusuf, and how all the trials that he went through, and all of it later on at the end, he didn't say it himself, by the way. At the end, there's this one word that he uses, which he calls Ilahi subhanahu wa ta'ala. He goes Anta wali, meaning Ilahi is his wali. He's like his actual, like that's one of Ilahi's 99 names. He could have said anything. You know what I mean? You are this, you are that. But he chose specifically wali. You know what I mean? And when the ayah was being broken down, like the importance of the word wali, like wali is your protector, your friend, you're this and you're that. You're all of this in all of this time, and I didn't even realize it. You know what I mean? So when he was on the bottom of the well, you know what I mean? Anta wali. I didn't know something. When he was in the prison, Anta wali.
Yeah.
When he was raised until the status that he was raised, Anta wali. You know what I mean? You were my friend in that one point. You were my protector. It's one of those situations. So you look back at that and you go, like, damn. And the discipline that Yusuf went through as well. You know what I mean? The temptations that he went through. You know what I mean? Like, for your brothers, the people that are your blood. I know this is a cliche Twitter thing or whatever. Like, the people that are the closest to you were not the people that really were the closest to you.
Why is that a cliche Twitter?
Blood is thicker than water.
Oh,
Literally.
well, no, respect that, bro.
And the accent.
You know how many of the boys were.
I know what you mean. I know what you
But it's
mean.
true. Discipline, even like, obviously we know the temptation story, but even at the end of it, when he had the opportunity to either make them succeed or crumble, you know, and it's one of those things,
Forget
raised
it,
them.
yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think for me, growing up, my parents gave me a lot of trust in the decision making process. So when I was 10, 11, 12, 13, I remember like they didn't just say, this is what you're going to do. They said like, what do you think you should do? You know, or you need if you're going to do this, that means you're going to miss out on this. Are you okay with that? So like, I remember when I was like, for example, when I wanted to go on Umrah when I was 14, my dad asked me, is this something you want? You're going to miss out on this. You have to do this. You have to work these hours. You have to do this. Or when I was 15, I used to go madrasa, soccer, like Saturday school. I used to play soccer on the Sunday, and I got a job at McDonald's. So it used to be the whole weekend. They're like, if you sacrifice one, you're going to miss this. You have to do this instead. Are you sure you want to do this? So they always gave me that, like, what do you think's the best option? And they like involved me in the decision-making process. So it made me, from younger, learn how to make decisions, learn that you can't get everything in life. It made me more mature, and it kind of taught me to take control of my life. Because there's so many areas in your life that you want to do. Everyone wants to be fit, healthy, make money, and have a good family, and learn the deen, and be successful in all areas of their life. But unfortunately, in certain stages of your life, you can't have it all. Or you can, but something has to sacrifice. You can't like, for example, we all have a lot of friends, or we all have so many social networks you want to keep tight. You can't see all your friends.
Oh, definitely.
It's impossible. But it's like learning to make decisions from a young age. I think they, involved me a lot in that.
And it
was very good.
It wasn't too much that like it burnt you out as well, and it
But I
stressed
think
you out.
It teaches you young, because like if you're 9 years old, 10 years old, you're not going to say, or like they taught me not to say, I don't know, you make the decision. Because you shouldn't have that mindset, especially us as males. When we get married, your kids and your wife is going to be looking at you. You need to be, let's say, the rajul, the man. You need to make decisions, and that kind of thing. Is like you want to be firm in your decision. And you also want to, it teaches you a lot about your own character, because it just votes towards your identity. I picked when I was 15 to do this. I stood my ground and did this. And there's a lot of sacrifices that come with it, So that's something I valued a lot.
MashaAllah, brother.
Bro, I remember, like, but if you think about it as kids, I remember times, because I appreciate that a lot. I'll say another one as well, but just on that, I remember when I was a kid, sometimes I wouldn't even, like, because my dad would like initiate that more, that sort of mentality. Because mum sometimes would be too nice and be like, no, I'll do it for you. I have that soft spot. So then my dad, I would even even the simple things, how do I spell this? Or how do I do this? Who should I call? He's like, how do you think? How do you think it starts with? And I'm like, I give up. I'm going to go ask my mum.
Still does that.
He still does it. He's like, but do you think you should be doing? And I'm like,
that's not the answer.
Who cares what I
But bro,
my mum doesn't like it because my mum's ethnic, but my dad's half Aussie. He's got a lot of Aussie things he does. There's a lot of things we do at home. My dad's raised from a white woman, like an Aussie. So there's a lot of things in the house we do, and it's like, what an Aussie. And it's just normal,
But then if you think about it, as a dad, 100% I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Even if they move out, I'm still doing it.
Because it teaches them a lot, man.
Yeah.
But Allah teaches a lot. And also my dad taught us, like, with that trust, the value of money.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Sorry.
No, it's fine.
Okay, you say.
Obviously, we think alike.
You guys are the worst guys to shop with. Wallah. You guys are the lowest blokes to shop with. I was like, I'd rather take Abdul Ali or Afshin on that trip.
We think about every single purchase.
Yeah. Bro, wallah, they think about everything.
Bro, when we were younger... Even when we were younger, we'll go on like business trips, obviously / holidays. We were kids. We're going with our parents.
Not like they have no idea.
But it's like / holidays, whatever. But then, bro, we used to buy books and write down everything we bought, and then like calculate everything because we have like an allocation of how much money.
You had a budget.
Yeah, we had a budget.
No, we're working on a budget.
No, but like it actually taught us a lot.
But you go on holiday. We went to Malaysia every single year in our life.
Yeah, it was business trip.
Think about how many holidays you go on, and if you let your kids go freely, and also teaches them the value of money. It's I can't buy everything I want in life.
Exactly.
I get exactly what you mean.
Especially when you go into countries that you could literally think like you can buy everything.
Yeah. It make you more trustworthy with like situations like that. Like you'll be like, okay, I've actually equipped him with the right things to be able to go out and do everything, and I don't have to worry about him.
And also, if you teach a kid that kind of thing, it's like they think whenever they go on holiday, they can kind of spoil themselves. When we went to, like, you've been to Europe, you can't spoil yourself in Europe. Imagine that. But imagine if every year you just had that mindset. And we know a lot of people, it's like, Baba, I need $100. I need $300. And their parents just give them money all the time. But it's like, you kind of lose that value.
I wish I had that.
But go on.
Well,
That's a good
Bobo.
quality
But
one.
yeah, I remember even school cafeteria. I would be over the moon if I can get it like $5 for lunch because it was
Yeah.
so rare.
Yeah.
Because we had to
Oh,
earn.
no, that
Yeah.
We had to
Yeah.
earn it as well.
Every couple of weeks they'll be like, here's some lunch money. Like Fridays, kebab day.
Yeah.
Like even if we
Yeah.
wanted to buy something and we didn't have the money because we were too young, we weren't working. We had to work for it. So
Yeah.
alhamdulillah, our parents have
Allowance.
our own business. So we had
Yeah.
allowance and even just work extra hours.
You mentioned
write down the-
allowance. Wait.
You didn't have allowance going up?
That was the white part of you coming
Yeah.
out.
I
Did you get grounded as well?
Nah.
I only saw that on Nickelodeon, Disney, bro.
So only
Oh,
didn't have
bro, I
allowance?
was like, allowance,
Yeah.
what
That's
is
normal.
this?
Nah,
I had to
allowance.
pay rent at 12. No, I'm joking. No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
Nah, but whenever I needed money, hey, mum,
Yeah, see, we never had that.
chuck us
Yeah.
a 10.
Nah.
No worries, here you go.
Nah.
Mum's once in a while,
Yeah.
but then still.
When I went to movies with my mates, like, you go to movies, I was like, oh, mum, can I have some money?
Yeah.
That's about it.
Bro.
But I used to get allowance, you know?
Go movies as well.
Even if
These
you don't-
guys
Was
are
allowance like a
living
certain, like a
dream,
monthly
bro.
thing or
What?
weekly? Weekly allowance or monthly allowance?
Weekly.
Okay.
If you do the dishes and you help clean around the house and stuff.
Wow, that's,
Yeah.
that's a
My
lot.
My parents both work full time.
Yeah.
So growing up, no one was at home. Like,
Yeah.
My parents used to go on holiday for 3 weeks, and then different aunties would come take care of us for a week each, or we'll go stay at our other friend's house,
Wallah.
or we'll go stay at our grandma's for 2 weeks, you know?
No,
Yeah,
my
like-
parents never went on holidays, bro.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's different.
To
like,
me, that's
but
different.
it's business
It
holidays.
probably
Like,
would have been better for
yeah.
my mum and my dad to go on a holiday.
yeah.
But they
It's-
learned the.
Would have made us miss them.
It was
more.
work all day, bro.
You guys learned like the value of money early on, though.
Yeah.
That's
Alhamdulillah,
awesome.
I think.
And independence too.
Independence too.
Yeah.
as well.
Independence is a massive thing.
Yeah.
What's the thing in the statement?
The question is about
Yeah.
what's one thing you love about the way you were raised.
Yeah.
Name
Ah,
one thing you love about the way you've been raised.
Jeez.
Yes, you see.
Yeah.
Pull out the list.
Let's go, sauce.
Notes.
This might be a bad one. But there was no repercussions for my actions.
And you like that.
Well, as a kid, you do.
Okay,
Yeah.
but
You
now
love
looking
it.
back
You
at it,
actually love it.
Now looking back at it, actually, you know what? Let me retract that statement before
Yeah,
I get
yeah.
my mum taken down by the kids' help service.
Child protective service.
No, but one thing my mum did, whenever I had a fight, my son's an angel. Don't you dare talk about my son like
Yeah.
that. Mum was one
She
of
had
them
your back.
ones.
She had your back.
Yeah,
Your mum had your
always had
back.
my
Yeah.
back. Always.
Yeah.
That's why. She's still to this day, bro.
She's still
Mashallah.
That's mad.
Whatever age I am, but she's a legend, wallah, mom. I'm thinking about her
Shout
life.
out, Mama.
Honestly, hard work was indented in me since I was like 14, 15, even younger. I was always
Yeah.
involved in obviously the family business.
Yeah.
And
Shout out.
shout out, big boy Bill and Sons.
Boom.
We love you. You send us some very good fruit.
We need
vegetables on
a
occasions.
fruit and veg platter, bro.
Yeah, we
We're
will.
waiting,
We
bro.
will.
Look, we got a fridge, no fruit and veg in there.
Wallah, bro. Hey, look, you gotta blame Haj Bilal.
Haj
Wallah, you gotta
Bilal.
hook us up.
Come on,
Inshallah.
look
Dakhili.
at the.
So go
But
on.
yeah, basically, what happened was when I was 16, like my parents got a shop at Queen Vic Market. I think 16 or 17, and I was going through high school and whatever, and I had to play footy as well. But you know, you're like, I want to sleep in, I want to do nothing. But there was the 4 a.m. wake ups, and then when we didn't have school, I had to do the 4 a.m. wake ups 4 days a week, because 4 days a week the market was open. Yeah, this guy's
Funny.
laughing at me. Yeah, I was sleep deprived since young, but anyways.
What's funny?
Because I don't think it's legal. You should be telling these guys.
I'm telling you, they're gonna shut my face down.
I remember when I was at McDonald's, they said you can't work past 11.
It's 4 a.m. Did you go to school too?
Yeah, no. This, you got it wrong. I work Saturdays.
Since 4 days a week.
Bad.
Since 4 days a week.
No. It
Yo.
wasn't 4. It was 4 days a week when I didn't have school on a holiday.
School holidays.
Yeah, but then when it was like, if it was like the summer holidays, then yeah, it was every week.
Okay, yeah, side
But
catch.
if it's like school weeks, I would get Saturdays. I would go to the market on Saturdays.
Yeah.
Well, I made him sound so bad. But no, basically, yeah. And he used to always get these ladies, they come past and they'd come with their daughters or their sons, and they were the same age as me. Oh my God, I can't get my son out at that time. You know, your parents are, you're very lucky your parents make you work like that. I'm like, make your kid work, you fool. Yeah? Put him in my position. We'll talk then, bro. But now that I look back at it, yeah,
Yeah,
I know that I can handle a lot more than others
yeah.
Yeah.
because of that situation.
100%.
Do a lot more with less sleep. I'm a lot more like my work ethic is, MashaAllah, like it can't be matched when it comes to that sort of stuff,
Alhamdulillah.
because I can work off less sleep. I can do more. I have a lot more responsibility, because you're a kid, yeah, but when you're 17 or 18, you ownership of the shop as well, because it's your parents' shop. And then your parents don't really treat you like an employee.
It's your shop, technically.
It's basically my shop.
Yeah, it's your shop.
So the more I put in, the more our family gets out of it,
For sure.
the more stuff I can get. Because,
A bit of
Isn't
Dutch in that.
but anyways,
Sponsorship, so-
yeah. So basically, the one thing that was indented in me was, I know because you used to go to the Queen Victoria Market, you're like dollar banana, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then there was like guys in front of us. There was like at least 40 stores selling the same stuff as us, but you had to be the loudest. You had to be the most brash. You had to have everything there and on point, and like the way I'd organize the shelves and you know, like it built in me like a massive work ethic.
It's the same thing a little bit with Ashraf as well. They put trust in you, like in your craft, in your creativity.
No, my dad was talking back to bro. My dad was like, "Is that all you got?"
And you're like, what?
See, that toughened you up, man.
Yeah.
And what,
It
did you
teaches you to have thick skin.
It's like, yeah, that's not enough. You
Hey,
gotta keep
Did
improving.
you go to footy on Sundays?
Sundays I had footy, yeah, but
You had
Sundays
no voice,
the
yeah?
market was closed.
No voice?
Oh, I was done, bro. I was done. Alhamdulillah, I knew how to communicate with my eyes. I was in the midfield, you know. If I wasn't playing in the midfield, I wouldn't get the ball.
Risky.
But alhamdulillah, so yeah. But basically, yeah, the answer to sum it up is just the work ethic. But
Work ethic, and I think another thing you haven't said is ownership as well. Same with Ashraf in that.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like later on, when you have to do something like a podcast that's yours, you're gonna take ownership. No one else is gonna
I
create the
defos,
work.
yeah.
No one else is gonna put in the effort and all that.
And I know the value of putting in, and then knowing that you're putting in not only for the benefit of other people but for yourself as well,
100%.
because you know that in the end of the day, like you're gonna benefit off of it succeeding as much as you can get it to succeed. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
alhamdulillah, yeah.
And discipline and what comes out of that as
Yeah.
well.
Oh, you had to see my dad hyping me up. Funniest thing ever.
Yeah.
My dad, he had a weird way of getting me G'd, but he got me G'd.
Yeah.
All my mates at school used to laugh at me. Every time they used to see me walk past, because they used to come to watch my matches as well. And then my dad was on the sideline, Yalla ya Suhan! Like that, yeah, in the background. And then the boys, when I come into school, Yalla ya Suhan! On the side.
It became a thing.
I was taking a piss out of me. But yeah, nah. I rate it. We always give me
Mashallah,
another
mashallah.
gear.
Will it? Do you want to do another question?
You want to do one more?
Last.
Bonus round?
We'll do a bang one.
We'll put this on the Patreon, so then if you want to subscribe to send us money, you can see this last question.
Okay. Behind the camera, pick which one I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. Pick a number.
You should have said 17, bro.
Oh, this is interesting.
The deep one?
Do you need to outgrow your environment?
Do you need to? Like me personally, or do you reckon?
All three of you. Do you need to outgrow your environment?
It's a tough one.
It depends. Wallah, it depends. I know that I think people do need to outgrow their environment.
Do you? What about you?
I have on several occasions.
Today, whatever the date is,
Yeah,
May
I should
20,
just leave the podcast. man.
2021.
Sorry, boys, I'm too grown. No, but what I'm saying is the reason why I say it's a dependent answer is because there's situations where I feel like when you leave high school, yeah, you need to outgrow that. Because a lot of the times, if you had a bad environment in high school and you were doing bad things, but you're trying to get better, yeah, you need to be out of that environment, like you were saying, because you can't really heal in the place that you were broken. You know what I mean? When it comes to certain places where you feel like you're growing, I don't think you need to outgrow it.
Can I just ask, does outgrow mean leave? Or can you still grow and stay in it?
You can still grow.
Outgrow. I think outgrow means like you're growing out of it.
I think
So
it,
Yeah,
that
that's
literally
what I
means
thought.
you're leaving.
Moving on.
how about
moving
answer
forward.
it the way you interpreted it?
Yeah.
That'll be a bit
I
better.
need to go bathroom. I'll be back.
Well, mid answer. Yalla ya Suhail.
Do the SpongeBob 10 hours later.
Do you guys have an answer to that?
I had an answer, but not in the.
Answer it the way you interpret
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
it wasn't as in outgrow and leave. It was the certain skills in this group, because obviously none of us are in our field. All of us, like 21 to 25, we're not successful in the eyes that in the achievements that we want to have in life. So there's a lot of skills that we don't have yet.
Yep.
That's what I'm looking for. When I said, do you need to outgrow your environment? I think I need to outgrow this environment right now with the amount of knowledge we have. So I think personally, the financial intelligence. None of us are financially free. And that's possibly a goal. I don't know if that's one of your goals, but that's one of my goals in life, is to be financially free.
For sure.
So then finances isn't a concern for me, and I can live my life the way I want to.
For sure.
So I need to outgrow our current knowledge of finances, because there's the amount of knowledge I have now has given me the results I have today. And if I keep expecting to become financially free without changing the amount of knowledge I have or my belief systems, I'm not going to become financially free. So I need to outgrow our environment with financial knowledge. That's a big thing for me. I think health is one of those things where it just takes time. Even if you have the same mindset, it's more about consistency. It's not about your mindset on it. It's more about stay consistent and your mindset will evolve. But financial intelligence, you need to actually learn new things. So I need to outgrow our current mindset on that, and probably just deen. Because the amount of knowledge we have now, we shouldn't be sufficient with it. Like we should be desiring more. So I think I need to outgrow the amount of knowledge we have. We're not hafidh, we're not muhaddithin, or we're still on the journey. So I think we should kind of desire more. So that's the only thing. Like I want to outgrow our current knowledge. Like my environment is the people you hang out with, the 5 closest friends, which are all you. So I think for me, I need to outgrow that with the amount of knowledge and the amount of financial intelligence, and I can't expect someone else to do it. I can't say I'm expecting Ali or Suhail or Legendary to become financially intelligent or good on deen, and then they can teach me. My goal is to outgrow the environment, and then I can teach you guys. Because in every group there should be someone you look up to in a certain area, and someone you not look down, but someone you teach, and someone you pick up, and someone that's on the same level. There's going to be always you in science, you in teaching, Suhail in marketing, whatever. There's going to be different things we're all strong at. And I think for me, it's what I want to outgrow and then help everyone here is financial and deen. You know? That's how I understood the question. Because I don't want to leave the environment. Because I know I'm 22. I think of the amount of the friends I have right here in this room I should stick with, because that's going to make me grow.
I had the same interpretation. So outgrowing the environment doesn't necessarily mean leaving. It means staying. And excuse me. But I personally reckon, that everyone every single day should be making a difference to those who they're currently with. Do you know what I mean? Like your family, for example. Do you know what I mean? If you have a household who aren't muhaddith or who aren't hafidh and all this kind of stuff, do you know what I mean? It's the onus is on you to make a difference. You know what I mean? And with that onus, what happens is, like let's say within our friendship group right here, if I get better as a person, who benefits? You guys directly. You get what I mean? You guys pick up your game essentially. And when you guys pick up your game, one of you gets better. And what happens? It just becomes a domino type of effect. And also, why do I feel like I have that feeling of wanting to outgrow? It's because, or else I can't be in the environment. It's simply that. I can't be in an environment that isn't ever growing, or else it becomes too stable and too comfortable. You know what I mean? And when things become a bit too comfortable, it gets me a bit itchy.
You can't grow.
I mean? You can't grow. You can't do. But you know what the funny thing is? It's suited to specific people's personalities. You know what I mean? Like, because some people, that comfortability and that contentment in the way that they are, their personal life, their financial life, and their deen and whatnot, is what they want. You know what I mean? They want that steady plateau type of life.
Yeah, like they're content with where they're at now.
It's not a bad thing, but it's
just for them.
It's like they don't want more in certain areas of their life. They might be very happy with what they are, and that's actually a good thing, because then they kind of like find enjoyment. Sometimes when you desire too much, you don't find the happiness until you achieve it. So it's a difficult thing for a lot of people to comprehend.
And within the environment as well, you need a balance of those type of people as well. You know what I mean? Because if you have people that are like all consistently hungry, you know what I mean, you lose a bit of appreciation with certain things. You know what I mean? But then if you have people that are easily content with everything, then you lack that hunger and that drive in everyday things. Sure. You know what I mean? So it's a balance.
Do you think you need to outgrow your environment?
100% every single day. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Every single day.
Like chase more.
At least like work towards it. Doesn't mean like you have to achieve it, but then you're working towards it on it like daily to try improve yourself as an individual, and then that reflects on the environment, your friends. They're going to try to do the same for themselves. Because
is that how you interpreted the question as well?
At the start, I thought about like
physically leaving.
Yeah, physically leaving.
Yeah.
That's what I was.
Keep that mindset.
I was kind of stuck though, because to be honest, in the situation I'm in now, is I'm around people that are trying to improve themselves. So it's like, why am I going to leave that sort of environment? That doesn't make sense.
Growth mindset, yeah.
So you don't need to. You don't
so that's
need
why
to
I was confused.
Go out of your environment.
But then I like the idea of like just trying to outwork your environment, like focusing on yourself, and then learning from other people. But then at the end of the day, just focusing on yourself, trying to.
And sometimes growing out of that environment means leaving. You know what I mean? Because
Mm.
we aren't with the same friends we were from the get. You know what I mean? We've left
Yeah.
friendship groups, we've made friendship groups, and
That's
we're
true.
continually going to be doing that at the end of the
Yeah,
day.
creating more in the
Mm.
future. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Where you at, Sus?
I don't know. I feel like the word outgrow just basically means like I've
Over.
developed myself to the point where I have to leave this place. You
Move
know,
on.
basically move on. Exactly. Like, because when you have a pair of clothes and you outgrow the pair of clothes, like for example the pair of pants,
Yeah.
you're gonna keep those pants.
Mm.
You're gonna
Depends if
move
it
on
has
from them.
sentimental value.
Chuck them in the bin, bro. But but no, what I mean by is like, I think basically for the betterment of yourself and for the progress that you've had, I think that, like, obviously keep ties because it's part of our deen and stuff like that, and you don't really like just completely shun somebody off like, oh, don't talk to me anymore. I'm developing. Like, it doesn't make sense,
Yeah.
bro. So is that, but outgrow means like basically not giving that part of your life, like, or not giving too much of your life to something that's not helping you further develop.
Mm.
And I feel like if you do allow yourself to fall into a situation where your environment doesn't facilitate growth or further growth, then you probably need to outgrow that environment to get better. And for me,
Probably.
I know you do. I reckon you do,
definitely.
But I'm trying to be politically
I
correct.
like that. I like that. Just trying to get that Sus out of here.
Yeah, that's it.
Yalla, yeah.
Mm.
But yeah, so basically, yeah. Now I believe you do probably need to outgrow on the condition that the environment isn't growing with you. If you're all growing
On
together,
the condition that the...
This is for other people.
Then 100% on the
Yeah.
condition that is...
that is that like nobody else is growing with you in that environment. So if there's people who are like-minded individuals and you're all on the same path to get better, it's beneficial for you to stay around them because you can kind of bounce off each other. But if you're trying to get better and you're just around people who consistently do dumb stuff, you gotta leave that, bro.
Yeah.
And they
That's when you
say,
have to outgrow it.
and they say, like the person that the people that you're most around, like your friends. Show me your friends, I'll show you your future. And then there's also like you're on the deen of your
Yeah,
closest mate. I'm sorry, but I'm trying to be wali of Allah, you know? I'm trying to be Allah's friend, you know? So you're probably gonna have to outgrow next man who just hafiz of the Quran, you know? So that's why, and I almost said, man, I was talking about it in a lecture. He goes, in his thing, he goes, you want to get to the point where you're a wali of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, like Ibrahim alayhi salam, yeah? Like his name is that,
Khalilullah. Yeah.
Khalilullah. So you want to be a friend of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to the point where everything else in your life doesn't really amount to that. You know, it can't amount to it, and you want that companionship more than anything else. You know, so you're willing to, in his case, he was willing to sacrifice his son in order to keep that relationship with God. I'm not telling you go kill your kid, relax. But what I'm saying is, like the amount of like reliance or love or thing that you have for something has to be put in a constructive manner. So you can't really put all your time and effort into a mate if he smokes weed all day.
Mm.
And you can't say, oh, one day and I want to get better off my deen, but I'm hanging around with this guy 6 hours of my day.
Your actions are not in line with your words.
Exactly.
Yeah, for
It's
sure,
one
for
of
sure.
those.
And also, you know, with the outgrowing thing, how I didn't interpret, what do you call it, as physically leaving, is because some environments you can't actually leave.
Like your
Yeah.
family and stuff.
Just, you don't really have control over that situation or that control over the environment. So you personally have to take it upon yourself. And, you know what I mean? It's that inner thinking.
But there's situations where we're obligated to stay with, like, in those environments.
Yeah.
Like, we're obligated to keep the ties of kinship and all that sort of stuff, yeah? But, like, are we really developing or outgrowing the environment if we're avoiding our obligations, you know? So how much growth is there really if you're not really tending to those obligations?
Yeah.
Somewhere you can look at is also you can outgrow, and then if you want the best for them, like for example, if I had to outgrow this group or you guys had to outgrow this, you can always outgrow and then come back and kind of teach or help
Oh,
or guide. So it's not like you outgrow and you leave your environment forever. You can literally outgrow your mindset. For example, your mindset developed after the last 2 years, yeah?
Alhamdulillah, yeah.
And then you can kind of teach or help your friends throughout the journey as well. So you don't have to outgrow and go look for new friends every time your mind develops.
I know what you mean.
If they actually want growth, like you said, that's the first step, wanting to change. You can become, like I was speaking about, become financially free and then teach your friends to become financially free.
Yes.
Or you can become healthy and teach your friends to become healthy. So you outgrow your current environment of your friends not being healthy, and then you teach them to become
But
healthy.
yeah, you're all eating at the same time.
Yeah.
Faraz Zahab was talking about
J.
it.
Cole's, no.
Yeah.
There was some guy who was talking about getting better or developing as a human, and Faraz Zahabi goes, I believe that genuinely you can be the reason for your environment changing.
Yeah.
And he goes, the reason why is because I'm an advocate of that because I did it myself.
I'm a living proof.
Yeah, he's a living proof. So he got better when it came to theology, philosophy, deen, you know, and all that sort of stuff. And he talked about how he put that into practice. And what he did was he didn't urge, but he kind of like paved the way for his friends or the people that are around him to follow with him into the environment to get better. So it's kind of like you're taking people up with you. So but that takes a special skill.
But it's one of those things where it's also like in the process of you going through your strict diet or you trying to study all day or do whatever, like trying to take those steps towards your growth, people are like, why are you doing it? Why are you wasting your time? Why are you this? Then as soon as they see, oh, mashallah, you actually graduated from that. Oh, whoa, you have the body you want, or you're fit, or you're healthy, or you're actually financially free, or you achieved the goals. They're like, how do you do it?
Exactly.
But until, like, Faraz Zahabi he's a beast in his field, and everyone wants to get him on a podcast and talk to him. But then in the first couple steps, they're like, but you're just my, it's like us now. You're just my mate. Ashraf, you're just whatever. Are you talking? I don't need to listen to that.
Definitely.
It's like the same with Basha or Adam Saad or Sheikh Bilal. They were just normal people. Then eventually they hit a level and it's like, MashaAllah, actually there's maybe a lot I can benefit from them. They're not just my old mate. And that's the steps where you kind of like, there's levels to this game.
You earn that respect,
Definitely.
It's only fitting if I say, think progress, not perfection.
I loves it.
I have to plug it in
Well,
there.
he loves the motto. But yeah,
Alhamdulillah.
nah.
That's good. I actually rate the game. What overall thoughts?
Nah, I rate it too. We've only been past, 5 cards?
Yeah.
I think we can
6
do.
cards.
I don't want to tell you how long. It's like an hour 40.
Say wallah.
Yeah.
Was it an hour 40?
Yeah. We got 30 until Maghrib.
Faisal,
then
I
what, we
need
did
an
like-
hour
we
and
did
40
like 5
minutes back
questions,
of my
second
life.
Only
Yeah.
5 questions,
Yeah.
Yeah. I might take this game home.
MashaAllah,
You
bro.
take
Nah,
5
it's
cards.
awesome. That's what it's supposed to be for, you know?
Yeah.
It's supposed to be. That's actually really good if
And we
you
did one quick.
getting to know
I
someone.
remember I was telling a mate, who wanted to play this game because there's a similar version to this game. It's like where we are not really strangers. That game,
Oh, yeah.
which is also a good game.
Mm.
But this has like also the deen aspect because there was some
Yes,
deen
that's
related
beautiful.
questions I saw, which was nice. And someone was trying to get to know someone while playing this game. And then after, when I was listening to the creators of We're Not Really Strangers and also Faisal, you have to sort of have a relationship with the person you're playing this game with. You know what I
It's
mean?
a foundation.
It's a foundation. You know what I mean? You're building on the foundations. You know what I mean? It's like you and your best friend might have never known about certain things. Like, what did you look up about your parents or certain things? You know what I mean? And
Or
that's
you-
the whole purpose
yeah,
about
you
it.
didn't know an experience that they went through. And then
Mm.
now you're learning more about the person.
Mm.
You start to appreciate them a little bit more.
100%.
Because we don't know about each other's struggles, you know?
Mhm.
Or we don't take the time to really ask how each other, how we're doing or what's bothering you, or you know what I mean? Usually we don't give each other a straight answer in the end.
Yeah.
Because, not like it's a bad thing, but in all honesty, like we shouldn't be like transferring, or sometimes we don't want to transfer our negativity or the bad stuff that's going on in our lives and give it to somebody else.
Yeah,
So I think it's
And sometimes it's not time for those kind of deep convos.
Yeah,
Exactly,
definitely.
You know?
exactly. It's a time and place for it. Okay.
It just gives like opportunity for you to like open up with your friends or your family. It's just like it's an excuse to talk about those topics.
But the game, like we did 5-6 questions, and maybe I'll just say there's 100. There's a lot of questions, so you're gonna get the value out of the game as well. It's not like you play it once and it's like I can't bother playing it again.
Yeah.
Each time you play, you probably get a new experience. You know,
and like
So-
there's angles to the questions as well. Like for example, the cheat meal question is not considered like a deep question. You know what I mean? It's just like I already know about you, but like why? Why do you like that?
that's a
Also,
bit
like
fun,
one other
yeah.
question that says like, what's your best memory with me? You can grow appreciation for another person. You know what I mean? And you can also get understanding for another person. So it's like,
What was your cheat meal again?
yeah.
We'll wrap it up there.
Yeah.
We'll wrap it up.
Now,
like a
quick
sausage.
shout out to Freshly Grounded for creating this game.
Yeah.
The boys at Freshly Grounded. Wallah, it's a Mickey game, and yeah,
Mickey's good.
Support
Yeah.
local businesses. If you find out any other games, you can try them out. Give us some suggestions. But it's good to support. You know, it's a first initiative. I don't know any other like Muslim-owned board games kind of thing. Maybe there are some, so maybe send it to us. But it's a good
Yeah.
initiative.
Love
So-
from the AU boys.
100% from the AUS boys.
AUS. USA backwards, yeah. Sorry.
Leave it there. Like, share, subscribe.
Nah, make sure, bro.
Yeah.
You
Listen,
did at the start.
make sure you go down right there. You scroll.
Wait,
I don't even know
Suhail,
you're scrolling, bro.
Are you telling
Like
me?
and subscribe.
Are you telling me after 30 minutes, some of them still didn't like it?
I know, and I stopped the podcast midway and I
Halfway
told them
through.
to, but I
These
can't
people.
believe.
Oh my god! I know you. You right there.
I can't believe it, man.
Nah, I got hope in you though.
Just do it, there.
Headbutt it. Knee kick or? Assalamu alaikum, guys. Peace.
Cut it.